have to let the voters decide. So I thought it would be a good idea tonight to bring a guy with us to our city and introduce him to you. A person who also believes that we should let the voters decide, not just in the city of Camas, but in the state of Washington. He's very well known for what he does and why, but he didn't have to drive down here 3.5 hours to come to speak to you tonight. He probably had better things to do, but he wanted to because he heard about what was going on here in Camas. And he wanted to let you know what he thought about it, just like we're all going to let you know what we, the city of Camas, thinks about it. So I'd like to introduce to you a great patriot and a friend of mine, and thank you, my friend, for coming down here and speaking for us and with us and to us. And this is Tim Eyman, who wants to speak now about he believes that we should let the voters decide. Thank you.
Thanks, Scott. Appreciate it. Awesome.
Well, thanks very much.
Steve, Bonnie, Dawn, Leslie, Tim, Marilyn, all of you really screwed over the citizens of Camas. It's awful what you've done to them. You were supposed to represent the people and not rule over them. And that's why I came to Camas today. I drove 7 hours round trip to confront all of you. And it's why I invited everyone to join me here tonight. You, the mayor, and the city council created a massive new utility tax, and you refused to let the voters vote on it. And you instituted this surprise new tax so that the 30-day window to collect nearly 3,000 signatures to qualify this referendum would be during Christmas and New Year's holiday season. A totally sleazy thing to do.
Yep.
But fortunately, there is a bunch of super citizens from Camas that have teamed up and formed a committee to push the city's first ever referendum, Camas Referendum 1. And a referendum is a voter veto of an ordinance passed by the council. And there's a very good news story about it in Clark County today. And within that story, there is a link that shows how to print out petitions, and it's called fixcamas.com. Steve, Bonnie, Dawn, Leslie, Tim, Marilyn, you should have let the voters decide it on their own. But you didn't let them. And why? Because you knew the citizens of Camas would oppose this massive new utility tax and overwhelmingly reject it. So you kept it a secret. And you did everything you could to obstruct this referendum. This referendum is a complete Pandora's box. Once you open it, it no longer becomes subject to referendum. Once you create it, you can increase it and never let the voters vote again in the future on it. The fact that you would open up Pandora's box and do this, knowing in advance that the citizens would never get a chance ever again to do a future referendum, is beyond sleazy. It's a really bad thing what you've done. If you had any conscience at all, somebody would do a motion for reconsideration and say, do we really want to do this? Do we really want to go down this road? Do we really want to infuriate the citizens of Camas this badly? It is a Pandora's box that should not be opened, and I strongly encourage the city council to take another look at this. Somebody have the courage to say motion for reconsideration and take another shot at this and really listen to the people. It shouldn't take 3,000 signatures on a sheet of paper to get the message that the voters aren't real happy about what you're doing with this thing. And the fact that you'll never, ever give the people a chance to vote on it again. Once you go a little bit, you can increase it a little more, a little more, a little more, a little more, and the citizens will never have a chance to stop it. It's really dangerous, really bad. I'm really against it. I'm not from Camas, but if I lived in Camas, I would be extremely upset. The people in this room are extremely upset, and they do not believe they're being represented well right now. They feel like they're being bullied. They feel like they're being pushed around. They feel like they're just not really being listened to at all. I know some of you are upset over the last election. Get over it. At this point, we're talking about one issue, a massive new tax hike. And do you really think the citizens of Camas want a massive new tax right now? I don't think any of you in your heart of hearts know that the people are in favor of this. They're totally opposed to it. Yes, I went over my 3 minutes, but I think it was worth it. So anyway, thank you for your time and consideration, and I really do think what you've done is very sleazy.
Thanks, Tim. Thank you very much.